Good morning friends, welcome to my new video. In this video we will discuss what is GST and why it is introduced and why it is important. And also we will discuss about the complete overview of GST. Before proceeding towards GST, let's discuss some few concepts about the taxation in India. First, we have the direct tax. All those taxes which are non-transferable in nature is known as direct taxes. For example, income taxes, corporate taxes, etc. Then we proceed towards the indirect taxes. Indirect taxes are all those taxes which are transferable in nature. For example, service tax, GST, etc. Let's take an example of indirect taxes. For example, when we go to a restaurant, then restaurant shifts its burden of taxes to you, means customer. That is an example of indirect taxes. That means it is transferable in nature. Then we proceed towards why GST is important. In 1st of July 2017, GST was introduced, which is a reform to the indirect tax. Before the introduction of GST, the problem with the indirect taxes is that there is cascading effect and there is no uniformity of taxes in the taxation system. What is cascading effect and what is a non-uniformity of taxes, we will discuss all in detail. Then first we will discuss about cascading effect. That means एक चीज़ जो ऑलरेडी टैक्सेबल हो चुकी है उसे बार बार हर एक स्टेज पर टैक्सेबल बनाने का प्रोसेस को हम कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट कहते हैं. द प्रॉब्लम विद द कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट इज दैट द प्राइस ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट इज इंक्रीज्ड अननेसेसरीली. For example, let's discuss what is cascading effect, means how it is happened. Let's take an example. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मेरा एक कंपनी है और मुझे कंपनी में गुड्स प्रोड्यूस करने हैं. सो आई बाय द रॉ मटेरियल. बिफोर द इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ GST, सरकार ने हमको ये कह रहा था कि अगर आप किसी भी तरह का रॉ मटेरियल परचेज करते हो तो रॉ मटेरियल को परचेज करने पर आपको टैक्सेस देना पड़ेगा. लेट आई परचेस्ड रॉ मटेरियल वर्थ ऑफ रुपीज 1000. So I have to pay tax on 1000 obviously to the government. For example, I paid 10 rupees as tax to the government. So the cost of the raw material become 1010. Now then I converted the raw material to the finished product. So the price of the product in the market is increased. In economic term we call it as value addition. For example, we add 100 rupee as the value addition. So the price of the product become 1110. Then before the introduction of GST, we have to pay the tax on value addition also. We pay 10 rupees on that value addition, means tax. So the final value becomes 11,020. And at last also when you sell it in market, then we have to also pay some tax. And when we sell, that is the final value becomes 11,030. This is known as cascading, means tax on tax. We have to go through multiple tax structure. You can see clearly, if we remove the cascading effect, the price of the product will automatically decrease. Then let's come to after introduction of GST. What happened is that I purchased 1000 raw material. Then we do not have to pay any tax here. I add 100 as value addition. Then the product become 1100 as we add 100. At last stage we have to pay a single tax, which is known as GST. That means by the introduction of GST, we do not have to come through the multiple tax structure by the government. Here it is important to observe that there is a difference in the final price. That means there is a 20 rupee difference between the final price. This is the main problem in the indirect taxes. That is, we have to pay taxes on taxes. By the introduction of GST, this cascading effect is removed. Then we proceed towards the second cause why you introduce GST, that is यूनिफॉर्मिटी ऑफ टैक्स। ये क्या होता है, लेट्स डिस्कस इन डिटेल। हमारे टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर में यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं था पहले में क्या था कि सेंटर का अपने एक अलग टैक्स हुआ करता था और स्टेट का अपना एक अलग टैक्स हुआ करता था। द फैक्ट इज दैट इफ वी चेंज द बाउंड्री ऑफ द स्टेट देन द वेट ऑफ द सेम टैक्स बिकम चेंज। लेट अस टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अ वैट। वैट स्टैंड्स फॉर वैल्यू एडेड टैक्स। ये टैक्स स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का टैक्स हुआ करता था। जब GST इंट्रोड्यूस नहीं हुआ था, ये टैक्स स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का टैक्स हुआ करता था। लेट वैट इन ओडिशा बी 10%। इट इज़ नेसेसरी दैट इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी दैट ऑल द स्टेट हैव वैट 10%. नो, इट वाज नॉट हैपेंड इन ऑल द स्टेट. द नेम वाज कॉमन, that is VAT VAT, but the rate was different, so there is no uniformity in the tax before the introduction of GST. The problem with this that we have to pay different price for the same product if we purchase it from different state. For example, हम बात करते हैं एक कार की, बोलते थे अगर हम फॉर एग्जांपल सेम कार विद द सेम मॉडल, अगर वो कार हम यूपी से 12 लाख की परचेज करते हैं तो कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है कि उड़ीसा में भी वो 12 लाख ही पड़ेगा. सो देयर इज़ ए डिफरेंस इन प्राइसेस ऑफ द प्राइसेस इन द डिफरेंट स्टेट. ये डिफरेंस क्यों देखने को मिलता था कि बिकॉज यूपी और उड़ीसा का टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर यूनिफॉर्म नहीं था. दो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी हमारी इकोनॉमी पर, एक है कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट और दूसरी थी इंडिया में यूनिफॉर्म टैक्स स्ट्रक्चर नहीं था. ये दोनों प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए सरकार को एक ऐसा तरीका, ऐसा टैक्स लाना चाहिए था जिससे कि हमारा मार्केट में यूनिफॉर्मिटी जारी रह सके और एक ऐसा टैक्स जो मार्केट का कैस्केडिंग इफेक्ट भी रिमूव कर सके. इसलिए हमारा मार्केट पर नया टैक्स लाना ज़रूरी हो गया जिसे हम GST यानी गुड्स एंड सर्विस टैक्स कहते हैं. देन in all over India we have to pay a single tax, that is now we have to pay a single tax, that is GST. GST is already introduced in India, or that means in whichever state you live or in where you stay in, that means state की बाउंड्री को चेंज करने पर ना ही आपका टैक्स का रेट बदलेगा और ना ही आपकी टैक्स का नाम बदलेगा. Then problem of uniformity now is solved. Then we will discuss how the cascading effect is removed by the introduction of GST. सरकार ने ये कहा कि अगर आप किसी भी तरीके का रॉ मटेरियल खरीदते हो तो रॉ मटेरियल खरीदने पर आपको सरकार को एक GST देना पड़ेगा. बट आप सरकार को ये बोलते हो कि जिस रॉ मटेरियल को हम आज इट इज़ मार्केट में नहीं भेजेंगे, इस रॉ मटेरियल को हम फिनिक्स प्रोडक्ट पर कन्वर्ट करेंगे. तो आपने सरकार को जो GST पे किया, जब आपने GST रिटर्न फाइल करोगे तो आपको इस GST को रिटर्न कर लेंगे, यानी आपको वैल्यू एडिशन पर GST नहीं पे करना पड़ेगा. सो the cascading effect is completely removed by the introduction of GST. Then let's discuss about the complete overview of GST. That means when is GST formed, who is the first state to introduce GST, and what are the slabs of GST. Let's discuss. Then goods and service tax. GST is an indirect tax applicable throughout the India, which replaced multiple cascading effect and also by the central and state government. It was introduced in 2017, 101 Amendment Act. July 1st is known as GST, and 28% is the highest GST slab in India. Telangana is the first state to implement GST. It is here important to note that petroleum is not included in GST. Then we will discuss about who will pay GST. That means all the person in India do not have to pay GST. That means there are a certain person who pay GST. That means if you are supplying any kind of goods and services in India above this 20 lakh of value, you must register for GST. Then we proceed towards what are the types of GST. Then we have generally 4 types GST, that is CGST, SGST, UTGST and IGST. These two, CGST and IGST, these both are paid by center, and SGST are paid by respective states, and UTGST are paid by respective union territories. Then we will discuss what are the GST slabs in India. There are generally 4 types of slab, that means 5%, 10%, 18% and 28%. And there are also some products that do not carry out any GST, that means they are not included in GST. For example, I have mentioned here that petroleum product is an example which is not included in GST, क्योंकि पेट्रोलियम में गवर्नमेंट ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा रेवेन्यू जनरेट करता है. इसको हम यदि GST अंदर ले लेंगे तब तो the government can generate less revenue, so it is out of GST. Then we will discuss about HSN code. What is HSN code? HSN code stands for Harmonized System of Nomenclature, that it is a 6-digit code. This system has been introduced for the systematic classification of goods all over the world, and more than 5,000 products are accepted worldwide in HSN code. That's all for this video. I think you will have a complete overview, complete knowledge about GST. Thank you for watching. Thank you.